standards are our way of communicating to the outside world that we have expectations for how people should behave towards us. Unfortunately for guys, particularly if you feel like you haven't really had much of the success that you want with women, it can be hard for you to enter into the whole field of dating with this mindset that you get to be a selector, that you get to choose which women you go on dates with, not just based on her looks, but also based on her personality and how much she's giving to the interaction. Instead, you might be thinking, well, if I'm lucky enough to get an opportunity with a woman, I have to clutch onto it with both hands. Unfortunately, until we flip this around, simply that mindset itself is going to stop you from getting the results that you want with women. And that's because you are taking all of the blame for the outcome of a situation on yourself. I call this the performance mindset. This is where, just like I was mentioning earlier, in every interaction, you think that if you'd have just done a few things differently, that you could have gotten to a better result. This means that you think that all women's reactions towards you are a result of how good your game is, rather than thinking about how open-minded she is, what her contribution is to the interaction, outside and external factors. This also means, ironically, that even when a woman isn't giving very much or anything at all to the interaction, you continue to tolerate that lack of effort on her part, and instead of withdrawing or swapping your interest to elsewhere, start to think that you need to try harder to somehow engage and win her attention. This actually is a very unattractive behavior to exhibit, because what that lack of standards is showing is that you don't have an abundance of women yet in your life. In fact, women are going to be most attracted towards guys who demonstrate that, just like they do, they have standards for the woman that they're dating. No woman really wants to date a guy who she feels would just date any woman because he really wants a girlfriend. She wants to feel that she has been specially chosen by you because of her personality and how she's contributed to the interaction. So we've got to get you to a space where you can believe that this can be true, that yes, not only can you date a woman that you're physically attracted to, but you can also date a woman that you're emotionally and mentally attracted to as well. So this goes back to becoming what I call the selector mindset. Now, the selector mindset is, instead of coming from a space of scarcity where you're just trying to get anything from anyone, instead you're choosing to really focus in on what qualities you want to see within a woman. Now, on a very basic level, these qualities have to include that the woman is being very responsive to you, that she's also investing her time and her effort and her energy in getting to know you. That is a basic requirement for the dating experience to continue. If she is ignoring you or being non-responsive or doesn't want to meet up with you in person, then this is like a non-starter. Beyond just looking out for what a woman looks like, I need you to be going into every single interaction thinking about what kind of personal qualities you want to find in a woman. If you don't do this, this can actually lead to several significant problems in the interaction. What you will find yourself doing is, unless you have a clearer idea about what kind of a woman you'd like to meet, you will find that you are constantly in an interaction thinking, what topics do I need to say that will make her entertained? How do I say things that she likes? How do I keep her talking long enough so it's okay if I ask her number? When you're doing all of these things, you're constantly having to second guess the interaction because you're trying to perform and do something that is going to please her. You're not really even thinking about yourself. First of all, women are sensitive and aware of this, and they will get an immediate sort of intuitive understanding of when a guy is just there trying to talk to them because he wants to get something from them, and when he is genuinely present and engaged with them as a woman. Because of this, rather than going into your interactions trying to think about what will make her happy, we need to reverse that around, and I need you to start to really think about, what am I looking for in a woman? This means that when you're in a conversation, the conversation becomes a process of discovering whether she has the same values or she likes the same things as you. This gives the conversation a natural direction and orientation. That it's important that not every interaction is that you're trying to do stuff to impress her because you want the result of her kissing you or giving you her phone number. Instead, you start to think, there are in fact loads of women I could potentially meet, and I really want to invest my time and effort in women who I feel a connection to as well as a physical attraction. The woman is going to receive that information and she is going to be thinking that instead of feeling like you're that kind of low value guy who's just wandering around the club trying to get the attention of any woman, she's instead going to feel a deep sense of validation that you've really chosen to invest your time and energy in her because you connect with her as a person, not just because you're attracted to her.